I've been thinking for a little while now about making a post on the forums. It just hasn't been a good time with the update 35 changes kind of being like the biggest deal, and sort of I think the biggest thing on my mind as well. Um, but when things kind of get better, hopefully, and normalize, I would like ZeniMax to really revisit the Redguards. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is about the Redguards, but they, I think, are the weirdest. They have the weirdest passives of all the Tamriel races. When okay, like they're not a clear sustained race like a Breton is, or a let's say, what's another example of a sustained race? Um, Imperials. They're not a sustained race like that, but at the same time, they're not a damage race either. And usually, what the races have something like, oh, and even the Argonians are kind of a sustained race. You get a potion passive. I know it's not the maybe not the greatest thing, but it works. Uh, I don't play Argonian, so I can't really give a good opinion about that. But as for Redguards, they are in such a weird place because they get stamina back for doing damage, right? You get 1005 stamina every 5 seconds when you're doing damage. You have this race where they're not quite sustained, but not quite damaged, not quite anything for certain. And it makes trying to build for a rig guard really difficult because with a sustain race you can build more damage. With a damage race you have to build more sustain. But with the rig guards, you if you don't use weapon skills a lot, then you're not taking advantage of the passives. And and even if you do use weapon skills, that's not going to account for all your other skills that are not weapon skills. So like your heals, and then you're just your class skills. You're you're not getting any benefit from a sustained passive to those other skills. And if you're not doing damage, let's say if you're running or if you're trying to escape a gang of people chasing you down, you're not doing damage, then you're not getting stamina back. And so you're not getting any sustain. It's so then they're not getting damage. They don't have a damage passive, and the sustain passives are just not very good. Then what are they? What do they have? And I think ZeniMax really needs to rework the rig guards. Someone had an idea on the forum. I think of a good idea. Since the rig guards are basically weapons masters, why not give them a little, almost a give them a passive just like Heartland Conqueror's 5 piece bonus, which is 100% increased weapons traits, or yeah, 100% increased weapon traits. And with so with Heartland, you have, let's say if you have a sharpened maul or any sharpened weapon, you that bonus, that three, let's say 3.5K penetration that you get is double, and then it becomes 6 something K. Um, I think it's really versatile. That's really cool. That's the cool thing about that set. Um, could be a little overkill when it comes to things like charge, since charge is already pretty boosted. But like rig guards could really use a passive like that. And then if they're not going to get weapon or spell damage, give them the enhanced sort of use of weapons or weapon traits. That would be really cool, and that would be a way for them to have damage. And I had an idea before for a sustained passive. Um, yeah, okay, I remember what it is now. It's not okay. Not only it should be like this: the adrenaline rush passive should not only give you stamina back when you take no when you do damage, but also when you take damage. So it's not just requiring you to be the one on the attack to get the adrenaline rush passive. When you're taking damage, you're under fire, you're under heat, you're also gaining stamina back just from taking damage. I think that will really help. Um, it won't alleviate all the problems because let's just say if you're around the corner, like if you have kited around a corner and you're just standing there, you're not really getting any stamina return. So in a way, that's not really a great stamina passive. But if you're just going to have it operate off of action, like dealing damage, then why not also have it off of taking damage? Because it's just not enough when it requires you to do damage. Um, because you have to run, you have to jump, you have to roll dodge, you have to do all these things, and that in the times like that, you're not doing damage, you're not getting stamina back. So why doesn't the adrenaline rush passive help you out there as well? Uh, why not give them reduced cost to? They have a conditioning passive, I believe. Why not give them reduced cost to roll dodge, reduced cost to sprint? Why just? I know the Imperials are the reduced cost race, but I'm just looking this up right now because I'm trying to remember. I'm not looking at my Redguard character right now. I would just do that, but uh, so yeah, they have conditioning, I think it's called, and that gives them the reduced snare or the no the conditioning. Okay, the conditioning is the 2,000 max stamina, and the martial training is the is what reduces the effectiveness of snares. So you another thing that you can also do with the red guards as a possible um, boost. So you have the Wayfarer passive, which increases the duration of eating food. Why can't it also increase the or give a bonus like a 5%, or that's not really maybe a lot, but let's just say like a 5% increase to the stats of any food that you eat, right? That would be a great um, passive, a unique passive, a 5% increase or whatever to the bonus that you get from food. Um, yeah, I think these ideas would really help sort of bring the Red Guards up to a better place. So just to recap the ideas that I had here, and also and arrange them by name. So passive number one would be the Wayfarer passive. Not only does it increase the duration of eating food by 15 minutes, but it also increases the bonus, let's say a 5% increase to the stats that food gives you. And the um, martial training passive would also give a 100% increase to weapon traits, or it improves the effectiveness of weapon traits by 100%. I say that. and just like Heartland Conqueror, and that would make Heartland Conqueror a great set to use with the Redguards, and also and they would get a lot of bonus. They would get a lot of use out of the training passive, and which kind of fits their whole martial training passive name. So they would work great with the training trait. That's what I meant to say. The training trait on weapons. And so then the next one, conditioning, the 2K max stamina. That's fine the way it is. And then the final passive, adrenaline rush. Not only do you Oh, and I didn't realize that. That's even worse. Now it says under the adrenaline rush, it says when you deal direct damage, you restore 1,005 stamina. That's even worse than I thought. My goodness, no wonder my character was not sustaining well. I had a DK, and I'm thinking, well, these dot ticks should be restoring stamina. No, it's not. This is even worse than I thought. So it should be when you deal damage, you restore 1,005 stamina, or when you take damage, both. So when you deal damage or take damage, you restore 5,000 stamina. 1,000, sorry, not 5,000, that's a lot. 1,005 stamina. This effect can occur every 5 seconds. That is a whole lot better than requiring somebody to do direct damage every 5 seconds just to get stamina back. Because right now, as it stands, these passives that the Red Guards get are just, I mean, it's no wonder they're at the bottom. I don't see too many people playing Red Guards in PvP, and unless it's just for roleplay. That's pretty much what I do. But they really need some help right now. So ZeniMax, please help out the Red Guards. They need it. And thank you all for listening to my rambling. It's kind of incoherent rambling also. So thank you. Appreciate it. And I'll talk to you later.